Good morning, everyone. How are we? Hope everyone is well. I don't know if you saw Teddy Atlas. I can't remember what channel it was on, but Teddy Atlas was interviewed a couple of days post Fury and Ngannou, and he commented on Mike Tyson's involvement and how much actual hands-on involvement he had in the training of Francis Ngannou. He said his actual words were he was just there to be a face, just to walk him out. He didn't actually train in training degree at all. Now, if you head over to Mike Tyson's YouTube channel, there's an hour documentary on there, and it's, from what I could tell, it was shot over 2 days in the gym, just trying to work out what they were wearing and corresponding to how many days they were in the gym. It looked like they were there for 2 days. So whether Mike only done that for PR or whatever, but there was things I saw him drilling Ngannou on in that video that he'd done in the ring. Dewey Cooper was there as well. They were all there together. Dewey Cooper's another underrated trainer, spent a lot of his career around the Mayweather Boxing Club. So they're both quality, but you just watched Mike in there, and there's a difference between the GOATs and the rest. The GOATs have completed the game in every sense. They are masters in every sense of the word, and that's a great watch. An hour long of watching Tyson in the gym, training him technically, mentally, philosophically. It's fantastic. You got to watch it. It's brilliant. And like I say, you could see things that Mike was drilling him on that he was doing in the ring, in the fight. It's a real eye-opener. Brilliant stuff. Mike Tyson, man, fuck me. There's levels to this shit, as they say. And that's tier one. Mike Tyson is a tier one. No doubt. Superb. Right, so order of the day was Ben Eubank. Ben Eubank. So I agree with Eddie with this. When Eddie says this is going to be a monster, I totally agree. Because if you look at, let's take Eubank Smith and use that as an example. The Smiths and Liam Smith are well respected in the game. They're a great fight family, great boxing family. But Liam Smith is a trade fighter, essentially, isn't he? Liam Smith is not a crossover star from boxing. And that rematch was still massive. Still massive. So I think you start the press tour off for Ben Eubank, and I think that does grow into a monster. I heard, I think G-Man said that's an O2 fight. And it is certainly an O2 fight. But I think that can be bigger than that. I think potentially that is a stadium fight, comfortably, because Eubank Smith too would have done the O2 comfortably. So I think that's massive. And then the other thing when thinking about that fight is pre the PED stuff, pre all the controversy, because I think Ben's reputation has not come out of that well at all, has it? When he said he was just basically going to give an FU to the Boxing Board of Control, essentially he was giving an FU to his UK fans as well. Because when he gave them the board the finger, let's say, he was essentially saying, I don't care what you say, I'll fight, and if I have to fight outside this country, so be it. And that's great. But then for your UK fan base, who now haven't got the means all the time or the inclination to come and watch you fight abroad, you're essentially saying you don't care about them. And that didn't sit well. I was a huge Conor Benn fan. When you watched his rise, in terms of fight-to-fight progression, he came along faster than pretty much any fighter I've seen who's come up in the public spotlight, should we say, who's had a lot of fights from early on all the way through. He progressed massively, because when his first couple of fights, you're like, damn, Jesus. I mean, if you compare him to Campbell Hatton, it took Campbell Hatton a long time before you even thought he's got any chance of going anywhere at all. Ben came on super fast in terms of on-screen progression, shall we say. So I was a big fan, and certainly more fan of Ben than I was Eubank Jr. But if you look at where they are now, current position, Eubank has come out of the Smith rematch with his stock risen massively, isn't he? Let's be honest. I mean, that was arguably a career best performance, I think, comfortably. Certainly fan reaction seemed positive after that. And I just get this sense that, can you imagine this Ben Eubank fight? You would envisage Ben coming out for the first 2-3 rounds, absolutely trying to take Eubank Jr.'s head off, absolutely trying to remove his head from his shoulders, as he'd said he wants to do. But then, say Eubank makes it through that, and we're then at a mid-round stage, like 5, 6, 7 onwards, and Eubank starts coming in, and Ben, gasses himself a little bit. I can just imagine the chance for Eubank starting to rise up, because crowds are funny like that, aren't they? Live crowds at a boxing match are weird. You can have a guy winning it for 7, 8 rounds, and then a guy will start coming into it, and because the guy who's lost the first half of the fight now comes into it, the crowd suddenly get on him when he starts a resurgence. They start to get behind him and the chants start to come out. So it's an interesting one. I mean, what do you think? Who do you want to win, Ben Eubank, and who do you think will win? Because they're two massively different questions, aren't they? I don't know. I'm not sure who I would want. It's a weird one. There's an episode there's another YouTube channel called Diary of a CEO. You've probably seen it. There's a Eubank interview on there. It's a good hour or so long. And Eubank really opens up in a way that I'd never seen before. And you come out of that with a sort of a newfound respect and admiration for him. I did anyway. And I was never particularly a Eubank fan. I think Eubank started off his career almost knowing his position in the way that Mayweather knew that he would make possibly more money being hated, because people are going to buy pay-per-views, they're going to turn up and buy tickets because they want to see the guy get beat. And I think Eubank went down that road early on of intentionally being the villain, knowing that people are going to turn up and going to watch to see him get beat. So he always fitted that villain role very well. So yeah, I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. It's interesting. Do we believe it's going to be January? Cardiff or Spurs? You think Cardiff, wouldn't you? Cardiff's got a roof. Spurs is open air. But we'll see. Anyway, that's it. Quick one for today. Try and get another one out tomorrow. Please, could you, if you get a chance, like and subscribe. It takes you no time at all, but it makes a massive difference to me. It means the world to me. If you could do that, be eternally grateful. Anyway, much love. Catch you on the next one. I'm out.